Okay, let's take a closer look to this G&G. There is a lot of dust and there is the trigger missing. So yeah, we're gonna refurnish this thing a little bit, and yeah, the customer said this thing made terrible screeching noises before the trigger broke. Which is yeah, I have honestly no idea how you could break a trigger on a gun with an ETU system where you should actually press the trigger very, very lightly. Yeah, I found this one in cunt red, but I have no other one which will fit in G&G ETU. So before I had to modify one, I will use this used one. Okay. What next? Let's check barrel and hop. Oh, you see that? There's some kind of tuning nozzle. Yeah, there's tuning in it. Oh, this explains a lot. I just thought I will work on a vanilla stock gun, but there is definitely a tuning hop. There is some kind of a tuning nozzle, and yeah, we will check what's in there. The nozzle is not running very smooth. It's okay, but not very smooth. Okay. So let's check it out. Oh, we got an XT60 plug. These are the biggest ones I know, and yeah, or let's say the biggest ones I've ever seen for an airsoft gun. And there is this amazingly big MOSFET from G&G, standard one, and this takes a lot of battery space, which is bad. Okay, let me disassemble this very fast, and yeah, we will check it out. This is the standard motor, and we got some wear here, so I guess the motor wasn't placed very well. Let's say not very well. We are missing the little ball here. This is like a little steel ball from a ball bearing. We will add a new one. Let's check if on this side. Oh yeah, G&G does it. There is another one missing. Okay. Next up, I'm gonna remove the standard pins, and we're gonna get out the gearbox. To this point, it looks kind of fixable to me. No major problems, the gearbox shell is fine. This thing's for Germany, so it's 0.5 joules only. And we will soon find out how the energy was reduced. There's some kind of new bearing bushing setup. Um, Let's check it out a little bit. Okay, so we got this bearing here. I don't know if the cam can capture it, but the gear is actually moving in there. So I would just guess that this makes a lot of sound. And the gears are also not quite shimmed, so they can move a lot, which isn't actually very bad, but it could be better. Yeah, so if the other part of the shimming is fine, the movement can be okay. So we got an upgrade piston in here. Air seal seems pretty decent. Cylinder was not placed very well, but this is not much of a deal. The nozzle is kind of, yeah, I guess I'm gonna remove one of the two O-rings so it moves more freely, because we will have an astonishing rate of fire, and yeah, I would kinda like to have the nozzle moving right. We have Cymer gears in here. I guess it's 13:1 or something. We have a little bit of wear on the gears, which explains the sound the customer told me about. This must have screeched a lot. These gears, yeah, the motor should possibly have been too far in, I guess. I'm not sure about this, to be honest. Anyway, these gears are pre-stroked gears. Guess they have 12 or 13 Ts. And they look pretty decent to me, so I think we can actually reuse them. But we will do a hell of a lot more short stroking, because we have a very short barrel and we don't need volume anyway, so why not short stroke this thing to death? So I removed all the shims, and this is the broken trigger. I've never seen that before, to be honest. Looks like the cheap cast metal just broke. Maybe it's sintered or just cast metal. I have no idea. I'm just checking the micro contacts here. They seem to work. The cam did not focus this, but I guess the ETU itself is working, and this is good. Next up, I'm gonna put some work into short stroking the gears. Give them a little, yeah, let's just clean them up first. This is how these gears turned out after I cleaned them a little bit. They look quite good, so let's try to shim them in. Yeah, short stroke them. What I did to these gears is first I short stroked this sector gear to 6 teeth. So this is enough for around 0.4 to 0.5 joules, and this is a spur gear, which will run a lot more smooth here. So yeah, this is a little modification. Some producers just do this to the gears, and I see no reason to not do it. It prevents the gears from just scratching on the bearings, and as you can see, this works like a charm. I will also short stroke the piston if I can get rid of the piston head. Let's check it out. Oh, this feels actually pretty good. So I guess there was no Loctite on it. Let's just... yeah, there's no Loctite on it. So this means we can get it off easily, but it also means if we go for a high rate of fire, this will probably go off and we will crush everything. So we will add some Loctite to this. This thing here is actually quite fixed, but I need to get it off to short stroke it, so I used a hammer, got it off, short stroke the rack. So we got like 6 teeth left. The good thing is, if we got a pre-engagement to the piston cause we have too much rate of fire, it will not start to go with more energy or something similar. We will have a stable energy output. Or let's say, I hope so. Okay, so this is Loctite. I will Loctite this thing to your face forever. Loctite. It's a very strong one. And I guess no one will ever be able to get off this piston head again, but this is no problem. A piston and piston head combi is quite cheap compared to what we could lose if the piston head goes loose. Okay, so this is fixed properly. And next on, after we checked the sealing again, it's pretty decent by the way, and the nozzle is now moving freely. I just removed one of the O-rings. We gonna cut a little bit from the spring for the tappet plate, so it will be a little bit stronger and the tappet plate will go forward faster, what we will definitely need, because we have speed gears and a decent motor, and the customer said something about 11.1 batteries. Okay, next up, I have to do an awesome lot of shimming, and this has to be quite good, not absolutely perfect, but it has to be quite good to make sure this thing can endure the rate of fire that will come out of this. I'm gonna fast forward all this shimming stuff. At some point here I added ball bearing springs to the fire selectors, and as you may have seen, I not just shimmed the box, I also greased it up. And now I get it back together and try it out. So the sound from the gun is actually quite good. The video doesn't really capture it. Yeah, and I just decided to get it back together and check the energy, which is actually pretty decent. I just had a little problem with the trigger, which is, yeah, seems to be not too responsive. Let's say, yeah, it's a mechanical problem with the original G&G trigger. It's kind of strange, and I reopened the gearbox so I can show you how the grease has moved from a couple of hundred shots. This is actually quite good. So there is a little bit of grease just everywhere where it needs to be. Yeah, I fixed this trigger problem and I got some chrono results for you. These results were achieved with a very bad 11.1 battery. A good one just gave me around 2000 BBs per minute with around 0.45 joules hop set. If you liked my video, you can also follow me on my Instagram account. I will show it to you on screen now, and you may consider being my Patreon on patreon.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching my videos.